Okay, so yesterday I talked about Entertainment Weekly and Owen Gleiberman and people being fired, and it was sad. And I want to talk about the same thing, but be a little bit more cheerful. So, there is hope in Entertainment Weekly. Yes, all of the mainstays are gone. It's been taken over by new people, a bunch of kids, a bunch of young ruffians. Which, by the way, speaking of young ruffians taking over, have you seen yesterday's news yet? It was posted on my main channel, and I think it came out pretty damn well. First episode of what I hope are a lot to come. At Entertainment Weekly, my favorite writer I follow on Twitter, his name is Darren Frenick. He's a few years younger than me. I think that's how you say his last name. That's how I've always said it. I don't know how you could say it any other way, but maybe it's Frenish. I don't know. Very insightful, very funny dude. He writes a column on the website called Entertainment Geekly, which is always interesting. He has no problem writing 1,000 words on anything, maybe 2,000. His articles get very, very long. And one of the great things about the internet versus print is you have no constraints. Maybe you do if you have an editor who's really picky. But his Entertainment Geekly articles tend to be pretty long and pretty convoluted in a good way. That being said, damn it, I said it again. Carter, exactly! No one's going to get that. Where was I? Yesterday he tweeted out a little gallery on Entertainment Weekly. It's not an article, it's a gallery of snippets. It's a gallery of pictures with captions on them that are his rankings of the Marvel films to date. And you might think, and popular opinion might say, that The Avengers is Marvel's best film to date. The Avengers is great. It's Joss Whedon. It's got Joss Whedon all over it. But before that film, Joss Whedon did do some work in the Marvel Universe. And he wasn't credited for it, so it wasn't a big deal. Everyone wasn't like, Joss! Joss, and I'm not saying it's all his fault, there's a lot of other pieces in the mix here. Joss worked on the script for Captain America, the first Captain America film. Darren Frenick, and he gave no credit to Joss because, like I said, there are a lot of other things involved. Darren Frenick picked Captain America as the best Marvel film to date. And I think he has some solid points. Excuse me. I wouldn't have thought that before. I probably would have just de facto The Avengers. The Avengers. The Avengers is the best one. Of course. But I think he might be right. He said one thing that keeps sticking with me. He said, The Avengers is a movie. He didn't say this, I'm adding this. The Avengers is a movie. It's a movie. It's a popcorn movie. It made $1 billion. It's a movie. Captain America is a film. And it feels like a film. It's got all this history to it. It may rely on montages a little bit too much, but everything else, the character arcs, the development, all of the supporting players. Stanley Tucci is great. Hugo Weaving is amazing. He's so good as Crimson Skull, or whatever the fuck his name is. Crimson Cross? Something else. So, today, after Darren saw the new Winter Soldier, he re-ranked his movies, and guess what's number one? So, I am seeing Winter Soldier tomorrow. I am sure I will have a lot of things to say about it. I will probably do a all spoiler alerts-y kind of vlog about it, because I probably will have to talk about it after I see it. It sounds amazing. It sounds so good. So, I will link Darren's thing and the Humsy What's It. Have I already used that one? I might have. In the Jigamabob. I'm afraid that one of these times I'm going to say one of these combinations of syllables and I'm going to accidentally use like some terrible racial slur or something. I'll try to avoid that. Anyway, I'm curious, for those of you who are involved in the Marvel Universe and you've seen all these movies like I have and Carter has, you don't have to rank them all, but is there a particular standout for you? Is it the Avengers? Is there a reason that the Avengers is just the most fun? Or do you really like the Hulk? Or have the Iron Man movies been the ones that have really cemented it for you? I would say, if I couldn't pick the Avengers, before I would have said Captain America, I would have said Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie. Because, mostly, for the way it ends. The way that everything happens at the end, and then Tony Stark is Iron Man. And he says it. It's just such a great ending. And Darren reminded me of the ending of Captain America, which I did watch again last week, or the week before, to prepare for the new film. And I think the coolest thing about the ending of the first Captain America film is if you don't necessarily know the runtime of the film, you're not really paying attention, the ending sneaks up on you so quickly. You're right in the heat of everything. I'm going to ruin a couple things here, but come on, catch up. He's crashing the super fortress, or whatever the fuck that plane is, and then all of a sudden he's in present time, and all of a sudden the movie is over. And it's just like, what? No! And his final line, I had a date, is just like soul crushing. Like, everything collapses around that moment, that he just missed the last 70 years, and there's no getting it back. And that's the defining aspect of his character now. And it sets it up for such a good thing. Can't wait to go see Winter Soldier tomorrow. Gonna go see it tomorrow.